The unemployment rate dipped a little bit today in the numbers that came out today, but it's still looking kind of dour. And a lot of those jobs, Alex, I don't think a lot of those jobs are ever going to come back. They're in industries that were overbuilt, like the construction industry, like the distribution of credit industry and the mortgage industry. I don't think those jobs are coming back for a long time, and I don't know what else those people can do. It has been hitting the gold market a little bit. However, the trend for gold is still up, even with this pullback. I know it's hard to endure, but it is. Should nations, you can talk about that on whether or not that becomes a liquidation point to raise assets as a store of value, and that could happen. And really, it's the recovery of what? So really, it is about jobs. It is about jobs in the world and productivity and making Europeans and European nations on the planet productive people.
All right, stay there, Damon Vickers.
That's going to take a change in people's minds.
Stay there, got a break. He is the head of 9 Points Capital Partners. The website is nancypaulmary.us, npm.us. Our site's Infowars.com. Damon Vickers is our guest, a very, very successful trends forecaster, researcher. He heads up 9 Points Capital Partners. Okay, this is a short segment. Getting right back to you, Damon. You were getting into why the stock market's plunging, what's happening with gold, where you see this economy. They're already talking about another stimulus. The jobless numbers are exploding. We have Pennsylvania on the verge of bankruptcy, California. They're now talking about raiding pension funds, taking people's pensions and the government managing it. I mean, this does not look pretty.
No, it doesn't. But I mean, it comes back to productivity and the United States being a going concern. You opened up the show at the beginning and talking about, well, the United States bankrupt. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we're bankrupt. The United States has been bankrupt for years. You may draw some comfort, though, I suppose, that it's not just us, that it's also the United Kingdom, it's Greece, it's Portugal, it's Spain, it's a lot of Western Europe as well. When we went off currencies actually representing anything, and we fired up the printing presses, we have just printed and printed and printed and printed more money and more money and more money. And the planet as a whole has all bought into this game of he who has the most monopoly money wins. And that whether it's 10 million or 50 million or 100 million, and we're all striving to accumulate more of these, quote, dollars or euros or whatever it is. And they represent nothing. So our values are off. Our relationship to debt has been a very huge problem, and it's enabled, like the Paxil, Depakote, and Aleve, the debt has also medicated us, not unlike the way those things have medicated us, and given us the false sense of prosperity and the illusion that everything is okay, when things are really not okay. And so, we talk about the bankruptcy of the United States as being a bad thing. Maybe the ultimate bankruptcy of the United States is the best thing that could possibly happen. And perhaps we should hasten its arrival and build from there.
But, Damon, isn't the key to this, though, if we have a bankruptcy and the same systems are then continued after that, the big central banks and the players at the top are going to get even more control in power and continue using the central banks to give themselves insider knowledge and unlimited funding.
Well, they're funding of what, Alex? I mean, they're controlling of what? Worthless currencies. They're playing the same game that everybody else is.
But haven't they already pre-positioned themselves with the fiat currency when it still had value to buy real assets?
What value do the real assets really have if you can't exchange it into anything? So so you own. I mean, what would be the real asset that you would think that they would own that would have so much value that gives them an advantage over you? What?
Large defense contractors.
They take over the global monetary system, and then they basically enslave us. We're already there.
I agree.
I don't know what their victory is. And if they totally
they want the next bubble. They want the carbon tax. They want the. I mean, they've said yes, we run you. Yes, it's world government. Yes, the bankers rule you, and you're now going to pay us carbon taxes. But that's failing.
Yeah, that has come unglued too as well. Well, there's a lot of debt out there. The job growth is the problem. I think it's you and I were going back and forth, and about on jobs, and it's hard to get a lot of the world productive. It's hard to get people to be productive. It seems often in most organizations that we need to put $5 of effort and of money into a person to even get $1 of output. And I would say that that's the case of a lot of workers, particularly in the United States.
So you're saying the planet, the industrialized world, is a bunch of TV-watching couch potatoes who just want everything for free. And I agree, it's not just the corrupt elite that have facilitated this. It is the sloth-like zombies that have played right into their hands, and now the elite are going to use the sloth zombies to rob the middle class.
I don't know. I don't know that there's much value there either, Alex. Most of the middle class all leverage themselves up to the eyeballs. They're pretty much wiped out. The smarter people, the people that have always had money, they didn't go into much debt. They pay cash for things.
I don't have any debt.
Well, there you go. All of us can't be as rich as you, Alex.
I'm not that rich. I try to be a good steward to run my operation, but I just don't really go into debt, except for maybe a house. And
you see, that's your personality. Your personality. What I get from you in the brief time that we've known one another is that you're really about focusing soberly and clearly at issues.
Well, stay there. Let's come back and talk about.
You're willing to look at them.
We'll be right back.